Hello and welcome. Um, wonder if I turn the light on. Might. A little bit better. How are you guys doing? First in, say hi to you wins. And what kind of weekend have I had? No, we'll wait till a few more people come in, then we'll do a little check-in and see how the weekend is still resident in our bodies. Because it does, doesn't it? So, let me bring up Facebook just to make sure things are working. Am I live? It just said I've logged out. Yes, I'm live. Okay, and there is people talking, but I can't see it. Right, okay, I'm gonna have to do it from here. Hi Laura, hi Karen, hi Cheryl. How are you all doing? It's all very weird. I'm gonna pause can I pause the screen but still see? Yes, that's okay. Hi Annette. So, the weekend. What happened at the weekend? Let's do like a check-in with our bodies and our minds. What happened at the weekend? For me, it's a very productive weekend. I didn't really do much. We're still in lockdown in the UK, so we can't really go anywhere or do anything. So I've been recording videos. I've got lots of videos to edit now, and some exciting things coming up, and really been quite productive and getting on with it. And I've been reading quite a lot this weekend. And I've been listening to a wonderful podcast. I don't know if you ever heard of Malcolm Gladwell podcast, and he does a podcast called Revision History. And there was one that was fascinating about Elvis. And it totally blew my mind. We look at Elvis as one of the most perfect singers of all time. People try to imitate Elvis. They copy his every move, his dancing and his singing. And what a lot of people don't know is that he was far from perfect. And one song in particular, and I won't ruin the whole podcast because the podcast is amazing, and I'll share it with you after. The one thing that really blew my mind is the fact that one particular song, Are You Lonesome Tonight, has a bridge in the middle where there's some talking. And it says something like, the whole world's a stage and everybody you on the stage. And he performed it 11 times over a 10-year period or something. And he never once got the bridge right. Never once. And somebody looked in and done a survey of it, and out of all those times, he made 109 mistakes. And he always fluffed it, he always laughed about it, he always made a joke of it. But what was really fascinating is when he's talking about I don't want to give too much away because I want you to listen to the podcast. It's so good. I'll stuff it. There's loads more in the podcast. There's so much more about it. But basically, after his partner had left him, Priscilla had left him, he messed it up even more. And he messed up the parts that he was vulnerable in. And it's very similar to the fraudulent slip. You know, what was the true meaning behind the real words you were going to say? It's called paraplexus. Paraplexus, something like that. Talking about wrong words. And it just proves that we're all, none of us are perfect. Nobody's perfect. Not even Elvis was perfect, which makes him perfect. And there's one line at the end where a female singing a song about her mum, and she finds it really difficult to sing. Although she knows the words, she finds it really difficult to sing. And Malcolm Gladwell looks up at the end, and I just love the line. He says, let me look up the line because I'm going to mess it up. It's so perfect that I don't want to mess it up. A lesser person would have performed it perfectly. A lesser person would have performed it perfectly. And it just means that the true, authentic, genuine person makes mistakes. It's the person that goes out there and gets everything perfect, everything right, hits every single note, that can imitate and to do it in the most perfect fashion. It's not to say they're not genuine, but they're not as authentic in that particular performance as what somebody that makes mistakes. I just thought that was beautiful. What a lesson. Wow. You know, just be yourself, make mistakes. Just do what you do. Don't bloody worry about it. You know, if Elvis didn't worry about it, look where it got him. I don't know if he's happy about it, but look where it got him. And if he can make 109 mistakes on 12 performances of one song, you're okay. You can make a mistake too. Make your mistakes as often as you can. You know, if you really mean the words, you are not thinking about being perfect. Exactly. You don't have to be perfect. You know, if it's perfect, it's not genuine. So, like it says here, a lesser person would have performed it perfectly. Boom. Wow. Hi, Katja. And anybody else join in? Your lips move before your voice. Okay. Yeah, that's me being perfectly imperfect. Yeah, I'm going through the web and it's going through a different thing, and it's a system that I'm not using as from tomorrow. I've been trying it for a few days and it's not as brilliant as what I would like it to be. So, yeah, thank you. Your voice and mouth aren't in sync. Something going on. Right, okay. Well, we're going to do the meditation, and you've got to close your eyes now anyway. Hi, Kate. Perfect cue. The funny thing is, now that you've said that, I'm trying to. I'm visually seeing my lips move as I'm talking, and it feels weird. So let's sit. And the first step is we just shut up. Stafu, as Jimpo says. Stafu. Stafu. Which means shut the fuck up. And we do that just by stopping talking, stopping the narrator in our head, and just becoming our breath. I'm breathing in and I'm breathing out. And this is where you can gently close your eyes or soften your gaze somewhere other than my lips. And as you take a couple of deep breaths in, just take them deeper in and releasing them slowly, just allowing them to release. The thing is with the breath, you only actually breathe in. The breathing out is just a letting go. You just allow the breath out to happen. So you actively breathe in and then just allow the out breath to happen. And this is where we move to the next step. It's just been still. Allow the muscles in your body to relax. The muscles in your face to relax. Behind your eyes. Imagine a wave going down through your body, starting from the top of your head, going right down through. Every time you breathe in calm and then breathe out relaxed, that relaxing wave just goes through and softens every muscle in your body. And each wave just softens and calms and relaxes a little bit more. Just 1% more each time. If you find your mind wandering, or if you find yourself thinking, going through a dialogue in your mind, just smile gently. Thank you. Let's just breathe in calm and breathe out relax. Invite your mind to do it with you. Invite your mind to take part. And just to do this one thing. Calm and relax. Calm and relax. Calm and relax. And there's nothing you need to do in this moment. You just be part of everything else. And everything is part of you. As you breathe in, the universe and the sun and everything around you come slightly closer. And as you breathe out, they go slightly further away. You are breathing as part of this whole universe. As you're breathing in, the trees are breathing out. As you're breathing out, the trees are breathing in. When we slow right down, we notice how our breath is in tune with everything else. And then from this deep state of relaxation and just being present, just open your heart. Open your heart to whatever emotions are present. Whatever you're feeling right now. Whatever emotions are present, just be okay with that. You don't have to do anything with them. You've just been aware of them and you're experiencing the emotion. You are not the emotion. So if it's joy and peace, you're just aware of the joy and peace. You're not actually the joy. You're just aware of it. Just the same as if you eat something, you're aware of the taste. You're not the taste, you're just aware of the taste. It's an experience you're having. Same as the breath, same as the emotion. You are experiencing it. And you don't have to do anything with it. And your emotions might come and go, they might change, and they morph into different emotions. And on the physical side of the emotions and feeling, you can feel it throughout the body and experience it in the different parts of your body. Where is this emotion showing up? How does it feel? What if I was to become curious about this emotion? And give it a color. I give it a shape. Now give it a texture. Then you move it around your body and give it a label. And can you imagine it softening and dispersing? Just like, it's not there anymore. And then it comes back. And we'll just come back to the breath. I'm breathing in and I'm breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. So if you imagine taking this calmness to the rest of your day and how you can show up from this place. This place is always there below all the thoughts, below all the constant stream of emotions and thinking. And you repeat these in your mind and then feel it throughout the body. May I be calm. May I be wise. May I be emotionally strong. And finally, may I be loved. I'm going to tap the bowl in a moment, just in case it makes you jump. And yes, like Ian said, perfectly imperfect. I never really knew what that meant. I've said it for a few years now. I hear it often. And I kind of know, but I didn't fully know what it meant to be perfectly imperfect. If we were perfect, we wouldn't be perfect. It's that paradox. I'm going to find that podcast. I think it was season 5. No. Season 4. There's a really interesting one about the museums as well. The dragon psychology, where all the museums don't list the stuff they buy as assets. So they could be sitting on millions and millions and millions of pounds of assets, and they don't that's it. How do I share the episode? So they're like going, we're going under, we're losing money. But they haven't declared all the assets, like the Met Museum in New York, which I've got to go and see. That looks incredibly amazing. They have these Muslim rugs. It's the biggest Muslim rug collection in the world. And yet they're in storage and nobody's seen them. Even the guy that's in charge of them hasn't seen them. And they're put down as an asset of worth nothing. Yet they're now having to charge people to go in the museum because they cannot keep it up. And it's that mentality of the dragon and its treasure. No one can see it, it's mine. But it's only worth something if you show it. And you imagine if they just sold half of that Muslim rugs. For a start, the other museums would put them on show, or maybe they could rent them out around the country, around the world. They'd not only put them on show so people can see them, but they wouldn't have to charge people to go to their museum. but I'm not an expert. I don't know about their finances, but it's really interesting podcast. One of my favorite podcasts is this. But I've just shared that episode about the power of praxis. That's what it's called. That's interesting and senseless as well. You can imagine, yeah. Malcolm Gladwell is so brilliant. Hi Tony, I don't know if I've seen your comment. No, I haven't. I can't see your comment anywhere there. Hi Tricia. And hi Michelle, just seen you. Jump in both feet, absolutely. I do that. I love you in that shirt. Thank you. Yeah, I'm on my old can because I'm changing things around in my room a little bit. I'm getting rid of distractions. I'm finding myself so distracted, and I'm slowly minimalizing and getting rid of stuff, which is really good. Hi, Lubub, Leabub. I'm going to get your name right one day. Like the Vatican sat on. Oh, it is the it's synced now. Okay, awesome. Yeah, like the Vatican sitting on priceless items able to end poverty. Yes. Well, I don't know if it end poverty because poverty. Yeah. I don't know if it'd end it because it's like in the book by 12 Rules of Life by Jordan Peterson. He says about the 1% rule. And we think the 1% rule of the 1% that owns 90% of stuff is just a human problem. It's not. It's in nature everywhere. You know, the 3% of the forest is done by 1% of the species. Or 90% of the forest species is one species. In the animal, in the fish kingdom, it's exactly the same. Even with lobsters, the 1% of lobsters control the 99%. It's like it all the way through nature as well as humans. So as much as I would love in my heart to be able to solve poverty, I think it's one of those things that the more we try to solve it, the more we would just move poverty to a different experience. We might get rid of poverty of food or poverty of water or poverty of health and things like that. But I don't think, I think we'd just be moving the goalpost, and I think we should try. I think it's something we need to try. That they do. Here's the thing. They either have items that are worth billions, or they really don't, and they don't want to let anybody know, because they are really fussy on who goes into the Vatican Museum. If we work together, it's achievable. It could be, and please don't take my words as any kind of truth, because it's just my ramblings, and it doesn't mean it's true. I would hope it's true that we can get rid of poverty. Certainly regarding health, food, and access to a good life. One sec, let me. But there's also poverty of education, poverty of wisdom, things like that as well, which I'm doing the same, Stephen. Pandemic gives up time to look around and all the riches. There's so much I'm getting rid of in my life. I'm just like, even on my computer, I'm getting rid of programs that I've just haven't used for 6 months. Deleting file. It just feels brilliant. So what is the answer? This is a brilliant question. Instead of ending poverty or taxing the rich, we focus on helping as many individuals out of poverty as possible. Yeah, it's so easy for me to sit here and spout the BS about all the problems. The solutions are where it's difficult and they fail me. All I know from my experience is do what you can at arm's length for who you can. Um, and I think that radiates around. And I also do believe we are moving towards it a lot more fairer world, a lot more as much as it feels like the world is a terrible place at the moment. We've had the longest period in history of no world wars. There's less civil wars in the world right now than ever before. There's more people access to health and clean water than ever before in history. That, but we have so far to go. Teach a person to fish. Yeah, exactly. I love that. It's in the Bible, isn't it? Start with one. Yeah. It's insane that we value entertainers versus teachers, health and care workers. Yeah, we do. We value what gives us the biggest move from how we're currently feeling. And everything we do is a move from how we're currently feeling. So if we're feeling like you have a really bad day or a tiring day, the biggest move that evening is a real big food fix. Fill your belly as quick as possible. So we might throw caution to the wind and have a Chinese or a takeaway. That's when we end up doing things like that. It comes from the place of where we're feeling. And very often reading a book or donating and things like that don't have as big a move on moving us from where we're feeling at that moment as what eating a chocolate bar or watching a film or Netflix binge. You know, we tend to do all those things when we're feeling down, and it's the easiest fix. Escapism. You know, as for reading a book, as for sitting down listening to an in-depth podcast. And there's one brilliant survey that suggests this, and that is I can't remember who done the survey now, it's some university somewhere, and they asked a group of people, I'm going to butcher this, but you'll get the gist of what it is, I can't quite remember, but if you ask a group of people, what movie would you like to watch next week, next Thursday night? And they'll often say a movie that they've been meaning to watch for a long time, but they haven't watched it. And it might be a movie that is a brilliant in the way of Oscars and things like that, like Schindler's List or something like that. A movie that you have to really want to watch. And then if you ask them, what movie do you want to watch now? They'll tend to watch a pick-me-up movie, a comedy, a happy movie, an escapism movie. They won't tend to pick the movie that they've been meaning to watch for a long time. So you base your decision based on gratitude or instant gratification. It's the same as when I do my shopping. And I bet we all do this. Oh, so you're over next week. What are you going to have for tea? If you're booking in the meal in advance, you tend to pick a healthier one. But if you tend to pick the meal that you're going to eat in 10 minutes' time, you tend to pick the one that's going to give you the greatest satisfaction. And I think that's one of the biggest problems with solving these problems is the fact that we are reactive people based on how we are feeling in that moment. And becoming aware of that, it's like Tony says here. He doesn't actually say this, but this is what I read from what he's saying, and correct me if I'm wrong. When we become aware of what we can do from arm's length, first for ourselves, and then we can do for others, recognizing that impulse. I'm all right, don't panic. I've had the fan on this morning, the heater. I think there are so many out there helping It's a slow movement though, and I believe more are becoming aware. Absolutely. And COVID-19, as much as it's a terrible thing, it's given so many people the opportunity to relook at their lives, retake stock. There's so many people out there that are helping in the community, helping each other. You know, people that are doing far, far more than I ever would imagine I would be doing. Helping each other out, delivering stuff for them and doing what. It's a way of everything like this just amplifies who we are. And if you are currently, because I believe all deep down we're all loving, caring humans, all of us. But if you tend to be of the conscious nature of that moment at that point in life, where you're not very caring, you're very self-interested, narcissistic, a bad time will amplify that. If you're a caring, loving person, a bad time will emphasize that. And we've clearly seen that in the past 18 months. We have really seen that. I said in a live a few weeks ago that 2020 has given the opportunity for people to take their mask off. And boy, has it shown. Boy, has it really been evident, you know. Mask off, that's ironic, isn't it? Making the unconscious conscious, absolutely, Ian. And we can only do it for ourselves. You know, we can, all day long, I can point to where the problems are in the world. Unless I'm sorting my shit out, my words mean nothing. You know, if I come on here and say, hey, meditate, become mindful, you know, open your heart, and I come off here and I don't do that, my words are cheap. My words mean nothing. And with a lump in my throat, if I said, oh, I'm all loving and I'm open-hearted, I'm meditating all day, that's BS as well, because I'm not. I'm working on it. I'm trying. I'm trying my hardest, damn it. But I'm not like it all day, every day. I struggle sometimes. And I think that's what makes us human. It's not all one direction. And I really appreciate you guys for allowing me to fuck up royally like I do. So thank you. I'm going to go on that note. I appreciate the conversation. And thank you, Ian. Thank you, Tony, Michelle, Kate, Cheryl, Karen, Kadja, all of you here today. Really appreciate you guys here. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Jane. And I can't wait till the summer. I want to get down to our local library and I want to go down and share some of the stuff with you. And I want to get down to the museum and I'm really itching to get out. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Kate. And everybody else. I'm going to burp. So I'm going to quickly go before I burp. Take care, guys. I love you and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, that's a good thought, comma. And remind me tomorrow, Karen, full stop. Because I often think that, full stop.